Another big piece of gold. We keep on digging and it keeps on producing.
First gold I found.
GPAA Plaster Pete's May Madness event was a hit, with close to 100 people in attendance. The biannual event keeps on growing in size, and beginner advanced prospectors keep on finding gold. But this event was supposed to happen in March, but was moved to May due to severe weather and flooding. We showed up earlier in the week so we could set up the camp for the event, but some of my food didn't make it.
We got some ice cream that exploded.
We cleaned up the food and started to set up the camp. And that's when Steve and Phil, the claim owners, showed up.
What are we doing, Steve?
Setting up.
We're building a giant tent. It's gonna be huge!
This tent is critical to providing shade for the food as well as the classes during the week.
Hey, so we decided to do this at 1:30 in the afternoon, the hottest time. It's fantastic. Really gets you acclimated quickly.
Oh, shut up.
I see I'm too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say.
We're all done with the tent.
People say.
The next day we started with a great breakfast, but we decided it was time to get the shovels in the ground and start digging for gold. The key to a successful gold dig in the desert is making sure you have a canopy to keep the sun off of you. We applied a little sunscreen and got the gear set up and ready to dig.
It's super hot. We're gonna dig and we're gonna die. Let's do it.
We went back to our spot that we called a honey hole, where we've gotten a lot of gold in the past. A lot of material had moved into the hole due to the flooding and rains, but soon found the decomposing granite layer that we were looking for. We did find that the material was super wet still when we got closer to the decomposing granite, which requires a little shake and bake.
Shake a bake, shake a bake.
After digging for a few minutes, it was time to do our first and only clean out for the day.
Really excited about this first clean out because it's been about 4 to 5 months since we ran the dry washer because it's been so wet in California. So I'm really excited to see what we can get, especially since it rained here and there's been a lot of flood gold coming in and washing stuff and moving material. So we'll see how much gold we get.
And we got some really nice gold and even a piece of azurite. By the end of day 2, we had a few more RVs show up. The main camp is here where we have the large canopy and Phil and Steve's RV and mine. Onward to day 3 and our second day of digging. Most attendees for the May Madness will not show up until Friday, and we like to show up earlier in the week so that way we have plenty of time to set up and dig for ourselves, and to spend some quality time with my son Luca. On this day we got up way before breakfast so we could beat the heat as well as get our workout in, and maybe a little gold. With my empty coffee cup in hand and hopefully a bunch of gold in this bucket, we headed back to the RV to pan it out and get some breakfast. And this honey hole keeps on producing, giving us some nice gold for a very early morning dig. With gold in our pockets and eggs in our belly, we got help from a king snake to set up the camp a bit more before heading back out for dig number 3 on day number 3. But the day was heating up quickly. To keep cool while you're digging, you soak the shirt in the panning dishes and your hat, and you're cool for at least 30 minutes in 90-degree weather. Our plan was to expand our hole, but we're going to do 2 separate cleanouts. One cleanout would be straight shoveling into the dry washer, while the other one would be a shot back cleanout, where we shot back on top of the decomposing granite to see if there's any gold hiding in the crevices. I was solo on this dig because it was too hot for Luca, so I made sure I hydrated and fed myself in between cleanouts. It was finally time for my most favorite thing to do in the desert, shot back for gold.
So everybody, just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so good without you.
I was able to clean up the hole real nice and hopefully get a bunch of gold in the crevices. It was about 2 shot backs full of material that came out of the hole. I kept the clean out separate in the orange bucket so that way it wouldn't get mixed up with the shoveling bucket. The shovel clean out produced some nice gold. Now it's time to see what we got in the orange bucket from the shot back. And look how much gold the shot back was able to pull from the crevices. I took a break and headed over to Steve to watch him run some material through his OmniFox trommel and sluice. I always love watching people bring their trommels and sluices to the desert just to see how the material will run through it. And this one did just fine. It produced a lot of gold. It even had this nice little picker. It was now day 4, Friday, D-Day for the start of May Madness. And by this time, a lot more people had shown up. Kevin Hoagland kicked off the event by introducing Kevin Bell and new state director Aaron. Then started the dry washing and metal detecting courses. Claim owner Steve took participants on Walk the Claim, where he teaches them how to read the land and read where the gold might be hiding. Participants would then go prospect a spot, dig 5 buckets of material, and Alan would show them how to run the material through his gold rattler. If they found enough color in their test run, I would teach them and show them how to set up a dry washer, and they would start digging that spot. After getting a few people set up on dry washers, my wife Chloe, my daughter Livy, and my son Finney came out to dig on the honey hole. So I took a quick break from helping others so I could dig with my son Finney. He absolutely loves digging for gold in the dirt, especially in the desert. Finney took a short break and I met up with Dustin. So this is a really cool story. Dustin watches me on social media and reached out to me, and I told him about this event. So he showed up so he could dig with me. I set him up on my spot with my gear since he's never used a dry washer.
You excited, Dustin?
Absolutely.
Let's get that gold!
Yeah.
We gotta get some Dustin gold right here. We're gonna get it for him. Lots and lots of gold.
I had never met Dustin until this event, but after this event, we have now turned into lifelong digging partners and friends.
First gold I found.
That is amazing.
So
that is amazing.
Chris.
No, thanks to you and your hard work.
I appreciate it. That's
Shoveling right there. This is one of the best parts about showing up to these GPAA events. You meet new people, make new friends, and you got lifelong digging partners. I next met up with James. He's another person that follows me on social media, and I had the opportunity to dig with him, not knowing he would become super famous on this trip.
All right.
I showed him a good spot to dig, and he set up his Royal Explorer dry washer. If you're a one-man or one-woman dry washing operation, I highly recommend these Royal dry washers. They're super fast and easy to set up and clean out.
Doing clean out number 1. See what James gets. Let's do it.
With clean out in hand, James headed back to the camp to pan out his results.
You excited, James?
Oh yeah, the most gold that I've gotten here in one, well, not even one day.
Look at that.
Half an hour,
That was 10 minutes of digging.
Yeah, a little more.
James ended up with one of the best cleanouts for the week for very little digging.
James, you're famous now, so just know that.
With James having a fantastic and amazing clean out, Finney wanted to get back out there and dig for some more gold. We did a quick clean out and headed back to pan out the results. We ended up with a nice picker and a few microfine pieces of gold. Day 5 for me, but day 2 of the May Madness event started. The individuals and participants that were dry washing got out early in the morning so they could beat the heat. Early in the afternoon, I met up with 2 more of my social media followers, James and Corey, and got them set up on my 151.
First time of the dry washer. We got James on the dry washer. First time, baby. First time, getting that gold. We got Corey. I got the fever, baby. He's got the gold fever. And the only cure is more gold. There we go. Corey, come on. Get that gold. Don't be shy, get in there. Get in there, boy. I don't want a shovel, Dad. I can do it. You want to get home and you gas money.
Corey and James worked really hard, but my machine was a little wonky that day and not running that well. And they got a lot less gold than I was hoping for. I started making rounds at the event and I ran into Nick Cooper on the gold rattler.
How much gold, Nick? How much gold? We're going for the big run today.
Big run.
Yeah.
Ounces.
The turtle size shell.
I continued making rounds and even pouring dirt in some of the trommels myself. Then I ran into my friend Will, who was feeding dirt into his buddy Steve's trommel.
Will's getting that gold.
Oh yeah.
Getting that gold.
This is Steve right here, and he's been gold prospecting for a long time. He built this system from recycled parts and material. I continued to walk around the event and checked in on the panning station to see how much gold people were getting. And there was a lot of gold being found by all the participants at the event. Later that day, the metal detecting competition took place, where individuals found marked coins that they could trade in for gold and silver coins. Saturday night was the potluck, and a free raffle drawing where every participant won a prize. With a big ticket giveaway item, a brand new Crux Prospecting High Banker. A huge shout out and thank you to Kyle from Crux for donating this and giving this away. The night continued with a group photo, a beautiful sunset, and then a thunderstorm with lots of lightning, which the kids overly enjoyed. We got up early the next day and a few of us snuck off to go prospect at a secret spot. Yeah! Dustin and I prospected one spot, while Kevin, Kenton, and Steve prospected another. We were digging straight down just because we wanted to see where the decomposing granite layer was at. But could we find it?
We finally hit the granite layer, Dustin! We're there! He got it! He hit it! He hit it, finally!
Both groups cleaned out and headed back to the main camp so we could pan out our results. And our results were fantastic. We had some really coarse gold.
What?
Just say lots of gold.
Lots of gold.
Mucho oro. Mucho oro. This was followed by a scavenger hunt, the first one we've ever done. Teams were formed and had to go around performing gold mining tasks. I ran the panning station where they had to find 5 copper nuggets. This ended up being the winning team. And the reward at the end of this task was a giant bucket full of goodies and gold pay dirt. This concluded the Gold May Madness event at Plaster Pete's by the GPAA. But I had gold fever, so Luca and I, Kevin, and Will went back out to dig for more gold.
Always on the go. On the go, baby.
It wasn't long after digging that we started doing cleanouts so we could start seeing that gold.
All right, look what we got from that little hole over at Chris's claim.
Let's go. Let's go.
That is crazy.
Woo!
Alright.
High five me? Yeah. Don't leave me out.
Evan.
A lot of digging.
A lot of digging? You on the gold?
I hope so.
Yeah?
Hope it. Hope it's worth it.
I think you do look like my twin brother.
I'm definitely the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the twins.
There we go.
And we just kept on digging and kept on cleaning out because we kept on seeing lots and lots of gold. So much gold. So much gold. It's crazy. Crazy.
So much gold. Look at that.
And we kept on finding more and more gold. It didn't stop.
Look at that. Nice and coarse.
So we did a test, grabbed a whole bucket full of dirt in that hole, and took it back to the main camp just to pan it out.
Oh, there it is, right there. Piece right there.
With a fantastic clean out at the end. The Placer Pete's May Gold Madness was a great success. I want to personally thank Steve and Phil for putting it on and letting me be a part of it. And a huge shout out to Kevin Hoagland and the GPAA for promoting this event. To all my friends and my fans that I had the opportunity to dig with, thank you for being such an awesome gold prospecting family and creating memories for a lifetime. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe or follow button. And join me next time when I go back out with Kevin and Dustin's family to dig for gold.
Anna, what do you think?
We got the gold. We got the chunky one.
Chunky one.
We got the chunky one.
Dustin.
I'm shocked, honestly. That's
Harley? Thank you for watching. Chris Undertaking out and Heavy Pans.